Hey folks, AG Squared here. So today I'm very excited because I finally received from Ford my adapter that's going to allow me to charge my truck at Tesla Superchargers. So let me show you exactly what we got working here. All right, so this is my Ford F150 Lightning. The Mach-E Mustang will have the same thing. I have the Lariat version. As you can see here, when I press on this, the port opens up and we see the actual charging mechanisms. Now, this really takes two types of chargers. One is this type here that you can see here, kind of like the two up here at the bottom. And then the third one is the fast chargers. I just simply bring this down and this whole thing would go in and get plugged in there. This over here tells me how much battery I have while it's charging. Now, Tesla Superchargers, they're phenomenal. They're all over the place. They're high quality. They're reliable. And believe it or not, now they're less expensive than some of the other competitors. So let me go ahead and close this. And let's take a look at what we got here. What did good old Ford send me? Ford sent me this. And look at that. It even says our gift. Just for me. No one else. Man, I feel really honored. And when we open up the box, you'll see a nice message there from the CEO, Jim Farley. Basically saying thank you for trusting us for being part of our EV adoption and paying out the for this truck. Remember, this truck, when it first came out, was $100,000. Now, not even close to that. But it's still a nice gesture. Pretty fan of that. A big fan of that. And then here comes a little bit more information about the Tesla chargers, right? So it's now talking about how you can now add thousands of Tesla Superchargers to their Ford Blue Oval Charge network. The Ford Blue Oval Charge network really is a bullshit way of saying we don't have chargers, but we rely on other charger vendors to be able to give charging options to our customers. And here you can kind of see precisely, right? The new adapter is going to work with all these Tesla Superchargers, and the maximum charger speed is now 250 kilowatts or more. But it does not work with some of the older superchargers that are less than 150. So this is an important piece of information. And I'm going to show you here soon how I use the Tesla application to make sure that I go to a charger that will be compatible with this adapter. And let's see what else is over here. It even offers you step-by-step instructions, but who's going to read this? I'm going to show it to you in real time. But yeah, you can see it's as easy as you attach the adapter to the Tesla charger, and then you plug in. You make sure that it starts charging, and then you, once you're done charging, you release it and detach it. Don't forget your adapter when you're detaching it. Very straightforward, self-explanatory. Here is our adapter. Let's take a look at what we have here. Very simple packaging. Let me take this off. All right, so here is our charger. It's very simple. This side goes on the Tesla side. This side goes on the Ford side. And over on this side, we've got this button to attach and release it from the Tesla side. Now, like I'll show you, let's come back over here. Once we're over here, I'm at the charger. I'll simply press this in, lower the flap down, and then you can kind of just see how this goes like that. Very simple. So I'll just simply connect it in. He'll snap in. When releasing it, press the button, release it, and we're done. So with that, let me show you how I'm going to find where the supercharger is at on the mobile app, and then we'll start heading our way there. All right, folks, if you're watching this, feel free to use the YouTube chapters to skip along, because you and we're going to be on this ride for a little bit. In total, it's going to be 17 minutes. I'll probably cut some of this out because you don't need to listen to me talk for 17 minutes. Actually, it. We're going to talk for 17 minutes. Maybe I should do this live next time. Let me know in the comments if you would enjoy a live video of talking with AG Squared about whatever topics you want. But like I said, right now, I'm on my way to the Tesla Supercharger, just to be able to show you all how that experience actually looks like. Now, as you've already watched, I use the Tesla application to be able to just simply know how many stalls were available. In total, we got more than what we need. There's more than, I think, 11 that are available right now. And so we shouldn't have any issues getting there and being able to plug right in. But we're gonna see. As you can see, I am rocking the Tesla jacket. I got this a long time ago, about 6 or so years ago. You can no longer buy this jacket. It's actually quite unique. The only ones that they sell that are similar to these are the ones that they give to the Tesla employees at these service centers. And I always get complimented on this one. On the back it says Tesla as well. It's got that ingrained. Really nice, and it's comfortable, fully waterproof. Water just slides right off this thing. So big fan of it. Now, I guess let's talk a little bit about charging. I know I made earlier another video that taught the fundamentals of how to think when it comes to charging an EV. Obviously, you have to move away from gallons and miles per gallon to now more so kilowatt hours, and how quickly the charger is able to provide how much energy the charger is able to provide to you. And then also you have to think about, well, when you fuel up a car, the fluid rate at which you put gasoline into your car is practically the same for all vehicles. But with charging a battery, that charge rate does differ. So just because you're hooked up to a charger that can charge up to 250 kilowatts, and just if your car can consume up to, let's say, 150 kilowatts, so let's just say 250 just for shits and giggles, it doesn't mean you're going to get 250, because if your battery is above a certain battery percentage, it's going to slow down. And that differs between cars and cars. If you research your EV's charge rate or charge curve, you're going to see exactly what is the maximum speed that your car can charge based on its battery percentage. So my experience, though, outside of the nerdy stuff, when it comes to just overall end user satisfaction and experience when charging a car, is that there is none out there that can match to the enjoyable experience that you get with Tesla Superchargers, period. It is seamless. It's always reliable. It feels like you're walking into a luxury charger station instead of a quote-unquote red motel or Motel 6 for all these other chargers. I will say this, though. I mean, I remember 6 years ago, it'd be like no competition. Why the hell would you want to get something that's not a Tesla? Because the charging infrastructure just sucked. Now, I've been using this Ford F150 for a little over 2 years, and I gotta tell you, the other competitors finally have learned their lesson. The chargers themselves are starting to get much more reliable. Their overall adoption of technology using mobile applications and just overall mobile experience is way better. Really, if I had to say, they finally have caught up outside of just, it kind of just feels cooler to say you're a Tesla Supercharger than to say I'm at an EVGo or I'm at an ElectrifyAmerica station. So with that said, I was shocked when I found out how expensive it is to charge at some of these other chargers. Just to give you context, back when 2-3 years ago, when I was driving this truck and I was driving for Uber and Lyft, I was able to get a discounted rate and was paying only about 22 cents per minute. Okay, per minute. And that meant that I could get about 100 miles in a cheap $4 to $6 price range, maybe a little more. Someone can do the math and bash on me online for, I don't know, not speaking facts, whatever. But the reality is this. I gotta turn here without crashing. I'm kidding, I got this all under control. I got this mounted, I'm being safe. But the reality is, back then I was paying about 22 cents per minute. Fast forward to now, almost all chargers in Georgia, but I know that the majority of the US now charges the same. Most of these, to charge quickly, you have to pay 55 to 57 cents per kilowatt, no longer per minute. So what I used to be, what the amount of juice I was able to collect 2-3 years ago is probably more than 4 times, if not 5 times, the expense. So it's gotten now very expensive, and that's a shame. But listen, if the consumers are okay paying that, then so be it. The upside is you don't always have to supercharge, fast charge. Most of the time, if you're at a hotel, you'll be able to charge overnight and get a good amount of charge on that. Same thing with apartment complexes. Same thing with your house. The key thing here is the most cost-effective way of charging is to avoid supercharging, period. But, okay, so with that rant aside, I'm quite surprised that Tesla is doing a great job at only charging their consumers 33 to 36 cents per kilowatt. What is that? It's about 50% less than all other competitors. That is awesome. So big kudos to Tesla on that one. And yeah, no, I think this is the first time I'm ever going to charge at a Tesla using a non-Tesla. Back then when I was driving my Tesla Model S 2014, I was able to charge for free for life. It was called Supercharging for life, fully free. Tesla's in and out on providing that promotion. I think when they realize that, oh, holy cow, we got to get more sales going, they'll kind of dangle the carrot in front of consumers and say, oh, you can get lifetime supercharging for free, just buy the car. But for the most part, I've seen that promotion no longer apply. So it's fine. Like I said, as long as you charge at the house or something like that, it becomes negligible. Okay. Let's see. According to this, we got 11 more minutes, folks. What else do we want to talk about EV? Trying to think. Well, let's see. Yeah, well, another key issue with other chargers, right, is the number of chargers available per station. The problem here is outside of Tesla, a lot of stations lack in number of available chargers. I know that EVGos, and I know the ElectrifyAmericas, it can range anywhere from only having 2 to 4 chargers to, sure, as many as maybe 10 to 12 with ElectrifyAmerica. But with Tesla Superchargers, what I'm finding is it has just so many more on average per station. And like I said, all of them are reliable. So with ElectrifyAmerica, I know one nearby here. It had, I think, 12 or so, let's just say 12. Well, at all times, 7 or 8 of them were not working. Like, you would go to drive to these places and realize, oh, there's no chargers at work, or all the ones that are working are used up. It sucked. And again, in the past, Tesla was the only one that would tell you how many are in use, how many are working, everything. And now, again, finally, ElectrifyAmerica, EVgo are catching up. A lot of them now offer that as well. So kudos to them. So again, I think right now is a fantastic time where if you wanted to try an EV, it is such a good time to do this. Why? Well, because a lot of manufacturers overproduced their EVs. They over-anticipated the demand. They thought they were going to get a lot more people to just jump on the bandwagon and pay more for an EV. The reality is that's not the case. So supply was way high, demand was low. So overall, used prices collapsed. And I do mean collapsed. So you're going to be able to get a hell of a good bargain on an EV right now. As well as even if you buy new, you're going to get a ton of incentives. And so not only do you benefit from a good economic time to buy these, because you're also going to, I'm seeing more manufacturers also offer promotional APRs, 0% APR for 3, 4, 5 years. And again, you got to be smart with what you take on. I had talked a great deal about in my video channel about taking on, debt in an intelligent and calculated way. So again, if you don't feel like you would be responsibly taking on this debt, do not do it. Don't do it. Drive your car that you have right now to the ground, to the point where it can't go anymore. But yeah, no, again, like I said, if your finances, your budgets, and your expense track can tell you, hey, I can take on $300, $400 a month, maybe even less nowadays, it's a great time. And again, you'd be benefiting from the fact that a lot of these charging infrastructure companies are getting much better to be able to be used. So strongly recommend it. I haven't driven anything besides the Ford F150. I've driven the Ford Mach-E. I've obviously driven the Tesla. There's a lot more out there, but my expectation is if you're looking for something small, I'm not gonna lie, the Ford Mach-E, it might be tiny, it might be a little crammed, but overall for the price, I felt you were getting a good bargain for how much tech and quote unquote luxury it had in there. Other things I've heard that the Volkswagen IQ4, great stuff. I've heard really good things about that. EV manufacturers I've just flat out heard don't do them is BMW. and I believe the other one was Hyundai, actually. I've heard bad reviews on, but take that with a grain of salt. I haven't done my full due diligence. I'm driving and I'm just talking right now. But if I remember correctly, that's what those experiences are. So, all right, well, we're now stuck at I was gonna say stuck at a red light, but now it's green. And again, beautiful thing about EVs is absolute maximum power. I love how quickly these things go, how quickly they accelerate. It's just fantastic, so much fun. And again, folks, before people tell me like, oh, Adrian, like, you know, you're overly biased, blah, blah, blah. I also love driving manuals, folks. So like, don't think of me as like, oh, he's biased because he drives an EV. He's never going to say anything negative about it. No, I love driving manual. I love driving stick. I've never really cared for muscle cars. That's the one thing. I think they make so much noise and they have very little to offer. But that's, you know, that's my opinion. You know, you can bring your own opinion. I know some people absolutely swear by muscle cars. So there's that. Shark good, shark good, shark good. So what about that series of Umbrella Academy, folks? What do y'all think about that? I used to love all the initial seasons, and then I watched the last one, and I'm like, I don't think I even finished that. It really sucked. But that scene with the baby shark song and the van, those were real life vibes right there when doing a road trip with either family or friends. So that was a great scene. I would definitely encourage, go ahead and check it out on YouTube. Baby Shark, Umbrella Academy, van scene, good stuff. Hopefully when I turn, the camera doesn't move. I don't have it properly mounted. I actually, so what I have is I have one of those stands with the rings in the back. And because on the Ford F150 Lightning truck, I've got a massive screen. I kind of just hung it up there, kind of like a hook. So every time I'm turning, I'm kind of like a little bit worried that it's just going to slide right off. But thankfully so far it hasn't slid. It's held on there very well. I definitely need to do this live next time. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Whenever I do kind of a long road trip like this for a video, whether it's DIY or it's charging or what have you. So yeah, something to look forward to in the future, y'all. So, hey, when I publish this, let me know in the comments section below, y'all. Like, what other topics do you all want me to talk about that I haven't talked about on the channel? What questions do you have about these themes that I love to talk about, right? It's all about real estate, finance, technology, DIY, do-it-yourself projects. So out of all those, what do you have top of mind? What would you like me to provide you with my opinion on? Yeah, let's just talk about it, and you can influence exactly what I do next. Not just me always just doing it. Okay, let's see. Well, you know what I hate? I hate when you're at, you're kind of getting on a highway, and you've got the light that forces you to take turns, getting on the ramp, and the light doesn't work. So now you're just naturally, just following the rules without necessarily having a stupid light to tell you to do it. And there's always one person that just like pressures you to saying like, I know it's your turn to go, but I'm gonna make it so uncomfortable for you where you might just let me go yourself. And I hate that. It's like, no, don't peer pressure others to giving up their turn to go on the ramp. There's no need for that type of pressure. And again, the nice thing about the way I drive, I used to drive in New York, Massachusetts, California, and Mexico. I am an infamous, well-renowned, proud masshole. And so that pressure obviously does nothing for me. But I'm sure like some other people do not appreciate being pressured to potentially not turning. Oh, it looks like I'm already taking this exit. Oh, we just got on the highway for one exit. That's another thing that also, for some reason, drives me crazy. I hate when that happens. I was just checking to see if my mic was still there because I'm not seeing it on the camera. And I was like, oh, did it fall off? Am I not getting good audio feeds? But we're good. We're good. All groovy, folks. Boom, boom, boom. What else about EVs? Okay, well, right now as I'm driving, one of my favorite things besides the speed of EVs is the one pedal driving. What one pedal driving is effectively to slow down. You just take your foot off the accelerator and the car will slow down for you. Why? Because the way the magnetism works or whatever. I'm not gonna pretend to sound smarter than I am. Oh shit, I gotta turn here on the left. I totally missed that. That's okay. I'm not cutting anyone off. I just realized my mistake and I rectified it. All good, no harm done. What was I talking about? One pedal driving. So one pedal driving, you'd remove your foot from the accelerator, the car will slow down. It will recharge the battery just oh so ever lightly. But what's beautiful about this is it comes to a graceful stop. It does get a little bit of getting used to be able to calculate when you just got to go full out, foot off, so it can actually stop without you having to brake yourself, versus, oh, I take it full off and it's slowing down too quickly, and then I kind of ease it in, and you can kind of get that jerkiness of people that were learning how to drive stick back in the day. So I know some people have told me, oh, it's too aggressive. Well, some cars overcomplicate it, and they have like, how aggressive do you want regenerating braking to be? Tesla and Ford have nailed it. You don't need to do that. It will slow down gracefully in a non-jerky way, and all it takes for you is just a little bit of getting used to. But again, love the overall experience of it. Love the fact that you're charging the car, even if it just adds 5 miles to your entire driving range. That's 5 extra miles. And I also love the fact that I am reducing the wear and tear on my brake pads. No longer are we gonna live in a day where I have to change those things out every what was it? I forget, 3 to 6 years. I don't know. I haven't driven a regular car in so long where I've had to change those. But I've changed them myself, folks. So again, before you go in and say, oh, the EV driver, opinionated bias, whatever, I've changed my own brake pads before. I love being handy in those things. So, but yeah, no, one pedal driving, fell in love with it 6 years ago, continue loving it. Fantastic. We're getting close, y'all. How exciting. All right, folks, here we are. This is where I was taken. I had to put in a different direction than what Tesla told me, because for some reason Apple Maps wasn't working with it, and that's another reason why I love and prefer to use Google Maps. Apple Maps just sucks. It is what it is. All right, well, we're kind of at the mall here. This doesn't feel right. Let's see. It might be right. We'll see. Stupid Apple Maps. According to this, I need to turn. This doesn't even look like what the map says it is. This says that there's a turnabout right here. This is stupid. All right, we found it. So even though I just bashed on Apple Maps for being dumb, it is dumb. I don't like it. But the reality is, it wasn't entirely its fault. I realized that CarPlay here, once you start recording, it stops actually tracking your location and the map stops working. But we figured that out. There are the stations. How exciting. Okay. It's been a while since I've been to one of these. Now, my charge port is on the left. So I'm going to try my best not to disrupt any of these. And we're going to park on one where I can easily just charge on one of these. And we're not going to hit these. We're going to be very careful to just get close without hitting it. So that's what we're looking at here. That's good enough. All right. We're here, so we're going to take our adapter here, folks, and now we're just going to plug this in. So first thing to do, let's turn off the vehicle, and then let's get out and check this out. That turn off. Okay. All right, I'm going to put my thing here, come over here, flip this. We just simply grab this, and we're going to see if this works. All right, so we just connected that puppy here. Look at that, doesn't reach. We got to get a little closer. All right, so let me pull this in. So this is a challenge with all of these chargers. They're not long enough, folks. And for you to have to use these, you have to get so close to them. It makes you so uneasy. So already not off to a great experience. You got to get super close, avoid hitting the thing. That's as close as I can get. Turn that off. All right, we'll see if that allows us to get to it. Just reached. All right, that thing engaged. Cool. Let's now initiate the charge. All right, folks, so you saw the error I got there. It was weird, but you can see the blinking. And I hear the thing going, so we know we're charging. Let's take a look at the inside. It should also say we're charging. So again, I don't know why it said that there was an error, but we're definitely charging this thing. As we can see here, it says fast charging 90% at 6:32. And we're at 63. So let me show you what the app looks like to confirm that it is in fact charging. And on the F150, I'm just going to press that button. It stops charging. Now here's the button I'm going to press to release. Well, first, at the bottom here, you have this little release pad. So I'm going to press down on it. Well, first let me release this whole thing, and then we're going to figure out how to get this off here. Got to figure that out. Yeah, so you press this down all the way down, and I heard that disengage, comes right off. Be a good citizen, put these back. You just simply tie them in like that, and you're done here, folks. So overall, besides the short cable, this was a fantastic experience. I'm going to show you now what the app looks like, and we're good to go. So thank you, Ford, for your present here. Thank you. What's your name? Farley? It is Farley. Jim Farley. Thank you, Jim Farley. Okay, folks. So let's wrap this up. Overall, what was my impression on using the Tesla Supercharger station with my Ford? Let's also preface some context here. I have used Tesla Superchargers many times before. When I owned my Tesla Model S back in 2018, and I drove a 2014 Model S, I got very familiar. As you can see, again, I rep the Tesla brand. I love Tesla. I got very familiar with how that culture worked, with how the stations themselves worked. I already overcame all of that nervousness of like, intimidation. I'm coming up to a Tesla Supercharger station. Oh, there's Teslas everywhere. What to do? And so none of that was a factor for me. If I had to give some tips for individuals that don't have that expertise, it's the following. One is, know which side of the car is your charging port. Based on that, know that the Teslas themselves, that cable where the charging cable is at, it's very short. Number one thing, not all of your cars are going to be able to actually use your are going to actually be able to efficiently charge, and you might need to take up 2 stalls. Tesla drivers are going to hate you for it, but the reality is that's not your fault. You still deserve to charge if you're paying for it. Number one thing though, do not take up more than 2. I've seen some people online that are seeing people take up as many as 3 or 4. They just park across multiple, all 3 or 4 different spots. Unacceptable. Don't be that person. So yeah, keep that in mind. Second thing to keep in mind, I would say, is know that your credit card, what you put in on the Tesla app, is not going to be the one that gets charged. It's whatever you're putting in on your original manufacturer of your EV that's going to be charged. Besides that, honestly, my experience was phenomenal. Simple. I got a good charge rate. Tesla app, as always, incredible experience. The adapter did its job. It was easy to plug in the Tesla Supercharger into it, and then from there plug it into the car, and then from there initiate the charge from Tesla, and then from there control it from your original manufacturer's application or car to be able to start and stop it. So all in all, great experience. Again, I think that if you are interested in driving an EV, now is the time. Now is the time. You're going to find incredible deals. The user experience is fantastic now, more than it's ever been before. And there's more and more chargers popping out. Using an application like PlugShare is going to give you even more awareness on charging stations outside of just the Tesla ecosystem. But let me tell you this, if you have Tesla compatibility with your adapter in your car, there's no reason to use anyone else. Let me repeat that, there is no reason. It's less expensive, it's more reliable, it's a better user experience. It's a knockout. 1, 2, 3 blow, game over, Tesla still wins. Okay, folks, I hope that you found this informative, enjoyable, educational. If you did, give it a like, please. It helps me a lot. Like the video, share it with others. Share it with your friends, your fellow Tesla drivers, your fellow Rivian and other EV drivers, people that you think might find it interesting. Yeah, spread the love. And also check out my YouTube channel. If you find any of the following topics interesting, I've got a playlist for every single one of these topics: technology, real estate, finance, and DIY do-it-yourself home projects. So go ahead, check it out. If you are interested, give me a subscribe. I publish content every week across all of these topics, and so you don't want to miss out on that. And as always, folks, thank you so much for watching, and till next time.